It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Wednesday, October 4th edition. Coming up in today's show, a lot of good stuff. We talk about stuff you didn't realize was expensive until you grew up. Also, you'll hear in a few minutes about my dog's licking problem. But first, Isaiah, I don't know if you've seen, but in Paris, there is a growing concern over a bed bug outbreak. I didn't know bed bugs worked like that. But supposedly they're getting to the point where they're not just in a few apartments or whatever, a few bad hotels. They're expanding to where they're now found on public transportation and movie theaters. And so the idea is
they're taking over.
They're getting everywhere to the point where once they get to those places, then they can get into, just the more places they are, the more new places they can continue to go to until they're just everywhere. There's a lot of concern about the Olympics coming up next summer, that the bed bugs could affect that. And as I understand it, once you get bed bugs, very hard to get rid of them. Have you ever had bed bugs?
Never had them. Have you?
No, thank goodness. But it does. Well, here's my question: if you haven't had bed bugs, what's the most annoying pest you've ever had to deal with? And don't say me.
Good question.
I mean, you have a dog.
Yeah, but he doesn't really bring bugs around. He's never had fleas or anything.
Uh-huh.
As far as I know.
My dog had fleas, which gave her worms.
Oh.
And the worms weren't, that's just a pill. But the fleas are pretty obnoxious to deal with because she was up all night while she had them. She would just stay up all night just scratching. You could see them like hopping off of her.
Oh, whoa.
But.
You get them? Did you get any of them?
No. I don't think fleas cross, at least not these fleas that she had.
Probably not the ones she had, yeah. I know people that have gotten fleas.
But we also, when she's up all night scratching herself and shaking her head because they're getting in her ears, I guess we caught them pretty quick from when she got them to when it was, till when we got rid of them. So, but still a nightmare to deal with.
I had lice once. That was tough.
That's tough.
That was a tough period in third grade for me.
You ever had mice?
No, never had mice.
In your place?
No. At my house, when I was growing up, my dad would always take care of that. Also, I'm not a big fan. I'll just give you a pest I'm not a big fan of: mosquitoes. I kind of had a slight mosquito problem, not inside my house, but in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
About what would be a year and a half ago, maybe not this past summer, the summer before that. I live right by a river, so it was tough because we had so many mosquitoes back there. And then we finally figured out how to get the numbers down to where it's not so obnoxious out there.
What's the secret?
Just cutting. We had a bunch of short bushes.
Yeah.
Cut all those out, ripped all that out, just did grass. And then we got this big pole thing out there that essentially attracts them to it.
Uh-huh.
Just typical mosquito stuff.
Okay.
But when I would go out there before that, it was miserable. I would get bit 10 times right away.
Yeah.
Got rid of those, and so it's not as bad. Now, I still get bit, but not like I used to. When I used to have to let my dog out back there, it was awful.
Yeah, mosquitoes are one of the top worst animals there is. What purpose do they serve? Who are they helping?
Nobody.
Yeah, just a pest, just a nuisance. Well, I'm concerned for Paris. I don't know, because I do understand that once you get bed bugs, it's not like you can just get rid of all of them, It's a long, drawn-out process, and there's so much stuff you probably don't even realize. Obviously they get in your bed, but then they get in your clothes, and they get in your mattress and stuff. Or not mattress, furniture. They get in, and just carpet, and they get in everywhere, and so it's so hard to get rid of them, especially, the reason I think why they a lot of times afflict poorer areas is because they're expensive to get rid of too. So I feel bad. I do. I don't know how this situation got started, but I feel bad for Paris.
Just don't bring him over here.
Yeah.
Leave him there. Don't visit Paris right now. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
I feel like that should be an easy thing we shouldn't do. No in or out.
Well, lots of people
if you go in, no coming out.
Lots of people like to go because it's romantic, but it's not romantic.
Bed bugs when you get home.
Yeah, so stay away. Go somewhere else. Go to Italy. That's far enough away, maybe, where that won't be an issue. I do like how, obviously, people are talking about how the bed bugs are an issue, But it's like, oh no, how will it affect the Olympics? What about just the people? What about just the people of the city?
Well, right now, who live there, that stinks for them. But we don't want this to become a worldwide phenomenon.
I guess the thought is that you bring a bunch of Olympians in from literally around the
everywhere,
world.
then they take them
and
home.
They bring them all home.
And then all of a sudden, who's taking over the world?
Yeah.
Bed
all right,
bugs.
this does it. The United States, we're withdrawing from the Olympics. We don't need this.
Get rid of them, Paris. Or else, how about this? Instead of withdrawing, why don't we just host them?
Ooh, move the Olympics.
Move them. You lost your shot.
And ban France.
You lost your chance. You're out. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have this bedbug phenomenon.
You've only known you were having this for like 16 years, probably. And you had so much time to prepare.
You pulled this a year before?
Yeah, really?
Guess we're going to have it in the U.S.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
All right, that's it. That's the Bad Bug Talk. Enjoy the show. Catch you next time.
See you guys soon.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Isaiah, I have a question for you. This is something I could probably easily Google, but I thought it'd be more interesting to ask you and the public in general about this. Last night, Zafira the dog started licking my feet. That's something I enjoy. Don't mind it at all. But she licked my feet, I kid you not, for probably half an hour. And so I want to know, is she okay? Like, should I be worried?
Because she's licking so much?
Because she's licking my feet. She had to have gotten all the nutrients that were there.
Which can't be very much.
In like 15 minutes, probably tops.
How long did you let your dog lick your feet for?
How long did I this time?
Yes.
As long as she wanted to.
Like an hour?
It was like 30 minutes. Continuous.
That's so long.
That's a really long time.
Says dogs may lick more frequently if they have increased anxiety or a health issue, such as an allergy, injury, or arthritis. But they would say anything. If I said...
Yeah.
If I asked any dog question...
Why did my dog pee inside one time?
Yes.
Which she also did,
it would
by
say
the way.
Probably have a UTI or something.
Yeah. No, anxiety makes sense, though, because we just went on vacation. We didn't get back until a few days ago, so maybe she's worried that I'm going to leave, and she says she's been upset that I've been gone. Do you have any hair loss? No.
Skin redness?
No.
What about oozing anywhere on their body?
No oozing.
Unable to sleep or frequently awoken because of the urge to lick or chew?
As far as I know, no. She's always at night. Her behavior is unpredictable, but not chewing that I know of. Not licking my feet overnight.
Yeah, that seems like maybe you need to be the one to say, Zafira, enough.
Yeah, but
have you tried giving her a toy?
It doesn't bother me. In fact,
but then you're encouraging that behavior.
Well, I don't want to discourage it.
Seems like you should discourage it.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It's odd.
Especially if she's anxious, I want to calm her down.
But that's not the right way to calm her down.
Why not?
I think it's wrong and inappropriate.
I think it's a healthy way for her to ease her anguish.
You think your wife looks at you when you're doing that, and she's like, "Man, that's my husband."
She's thinking, "Why won't she lick my feet?" She legitimately was jealous. So yeah, that would be a reason for me to stop. And not that she didn't lick my wife's feet as well, but she didn't sit there and do it for half an hour.
See, I have a guest over at my house pretty frequently.
Yeah.
So therefore, I could not allow my dog to do something like that, because the time that I have a guest over and then he goes for the toe lick.
Yeah.
And I have to tell him no, and he looks surprised. I don't want my guests to be like, "Is this a normal thing for you?"
I understand that some people might bristle at that behavior at first, but surely once you give it a chance, you realize how therapeutic it is, not just for the dog, but for you.
See, I'm not even like a take my socks off around the house kind of guy. I've always got socks on.
If it licked your socks, if your dog licked your socks.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously your dog's not going to lick your socks.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
But yeah, I'm never barefoot in the house. I've got wood floors. Too chilly.
I like being barefoot.
Bet you do.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
Once you grow up and you're buying stuff for yourself, what's something you realize is much more expensive than you thought when you were a kid? I've got two off the top of my head that kind of spawned the idea of where we're going with this. But here's the first one, because I just did this. Vacation. When you're a kid, you don't realize how much your parents, especially if they're going to Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World, yeah.
You don't understand. You don't comprehend. I'm sure, because here's the thing about being a kid, is that you can hear the numbers, but there's no context for them. Your parents could say, I'm spending however many $100 just on the Disney tickets or whatever. There's no context. You don't know how much money anything is. You know what I mean? You don't have a lot to compare it to.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, vacation isn't very expensive because it's just good old me.
That's
why I think my answer would be children.
Children add a lot, I'm sure.
Like, I'm impressed my parents were even able to afford me and my brothers.
Yeah. How do you do vacation without it being expensive? I guess if you eat out every day, then also eating out on vacation would just be the same. Yeah,
like, I mean, you can get a flight somewhere for not that expensive. You go to Florida right now, $130 round trip. Boom, go.
I think that's expensive.
For a flight?
I think that's a lot of money. I think it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm saying in comparison, if you took 3 kids somewhere.
Yeah.
That's different. If I can go to Florida for the weekend for like $130 and just have like an Airbnb for like $50 a night.
All right, so
go real cheap.
So you think kids are expensive?
Kids are, I
guess that's a top answer.
I think kids are the most expensive thing.
As a child, how would you know that you cost money?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't even comprehend.
Yeah.
When you go to the restaurant and you're like, you know what, I want to pop. And then your brother's like, you know what, I want to pop.
Yeah.
And then your brother's like, you know what, I want to pop.
Just adding more people to the equation.
And then my dad's like, how about waters for the crew? Why don't we do waters instead? Yeah, kids are real expensive. That would be my answer.
Yeah, I understand now why my dad was very demanding about, or not demanding, that's not the right word, but when we would go to like a buffet and he'd be like, don't choose that. That's not getting your money's worth. Choose like something, like you
so it'll fill you up for the rest of the day.
That's right.
Stop eating the desserts.
You're not
gonna be full in an hour.
That fried chicken right there, that's probably like, that would be 25 cents for us to make it home. So we spent $18 on this, you get something expensive. I understand that now.
Other things that I would say, I think groceries.
Yeah. That was the other one I was going to say, was actually not just groceries, but name brand groceries.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the other one, because we talked about this, is the Kraft. They're bringing back the SpongeBob shapes.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom buying that for us. And now I would never do that, because even though they're better, I might do it because I'm an adult and I have money. But at the same time, it's just so dumb because it's like 4 times the price as the store brand. Yeah,
it's expensive.
Yeah.
I would say those, going out to eat in general. Yet again, I think if you have a family.
Yeah.
So that circles back to kids.
Yeah. Let's see. 8772 Radio U. If you've got something that when you were a kid, you didn't realize how expensive it was until you were grown up and then you're actually spending money on it. Text on in what you have to say.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, the question is, what's something you didn't realize was so expensive until you became an adult? The obvious answer is kids, because you don't realize how expensive you are as an entire extra person your parents have to take care of. Also, I feel like vacation, because anytime you have to do something, like to me on vacation, you're paying for flights, you're paying for hotel. You don't realize all the extra costs that get added in when you're a child. Some of the other texts coming in, Omar says, Legos.
I knew that one.
You knew that one? Your parents had a toy store. I feel like when I was
a big ticket item there.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I thought that all toys were not that expensive, but particularly Legos.
If you don't have a kid right now,
Mm-hmm.
you would be shocked at the price of Legos.
Yeah.
If you haven't bought Legos in 10 years, you would be absolutely shocked
Yeah.
at the price of Legos. But people buy them every day.
It doesn't matter what the price is. People still go for it. Adults too. Let's see. Tiffany, I like Tiffany's. Tiffany texted in and said toiletries, like paper towels, toilet paper, toothpaste, deodorant.
Good answer.
Deodorant was one of the ones a while ago where that was my breaking point with like the inflation thing, where I was paying like $6 for a tube of deodorant, and I'm like, this is too much. It's gone. That one's gone insane. But toilet paper is surprisingly expensive.
I got one for you.
Okay.
And we used to have these a lot. I don't know how we afforded these because they're expensive. I would never buy them nowadays. Pringles. I mean, goodness gracious.
I don't even know.
A bag of chips. You go into a store and you want to get a normal bag of like any flavored chip that you like. Doritos, Ruffles, name brand chips, $5. It's wild.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. Any name brand, anything. When you're a kid, you don't appreciate the store brand. When you're an adult, you realize that, I don't know, like it's just that there's such, how much the difference adds up if you're buying a bunch of name brand stuff. I guess I would say.
This is another one that we had a lot at the house.
Yeah.
Fruit, I'll tell you one thing. I don't buy fruit.
You don't get it?
I don't buy any fruit because it's so expensive.
Yeah. Wonder why that
What
is.
a waste for me to even eat.
Uh-huh.
That's way too expensive for me. And then the last one that I've got here.
Yeah.
This goes for pets and children, and that would be daycare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why would you even think about that when you're a kid? Like babysitters or whatever?
Yeah, like my babysitter, I was like, how much could she be getting paid?
Yeah.
More than I thought.
Yeah.
Then I look at my dog, Jim. I'm like, daycare for you? The crate, brother.
Yep.
I'm sorry about it.
See? That's
We
what I'm
can't.
telling you.
I'm sorry, we can't.
And that adds into vacation. I had one more, and that is like home repair stuff. Anything where you need to have somebody come out and fix it for you. I understand why why my parents got so upset if I would make holes in the wall and stuff, because it's expensive for someone to come fix it.
And when you're a young gun, something you always want is a girlfriend, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Twice as many things.
Yep. Vacations. Twice as expensive.
Going out to eat.
Uh-huh. It adds up. Makes you wonder if it's all worth it.
Do you really need a girlfriend?
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Brace yourself, Isaiah. Hairy Girl Winter is coming. This is something that's going around. I don't know if you've heard of Spencer Barbosa. She's pretty big on TikTok. She's one of the influencers pioneering this. She did a TikTok not long ago that says, body hair is natural, real, and more than acceptable. And she's part of a wave of women that are embracing their body hair. Definitely letting it grow wild and free in the armpits. Also the legs and just wherever it may sprout up. Looks like a lot of ladies are increasingly deciding to just let it flow, let it be free. And here's my question for you. Would you rather be naturally hairless or be hairy and not able to remove it?
Do I have hair on my head?
Yeah, the head doesn't count, but just like, would you rather have a naturally hairless body?
I'd be 100% naturally hairless. I'm already pretty hairless.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm torn on.
I shaved my arms and my chest and my stomach.
And your armpits?
No.
Why not?
I don't shave the armpits. It seems kind of pointless for me.
Yeah, when I see the ladies that are not shaving their armpits, I feel like good for you. Like, what's the point almost? And as we approach winter,
see, I don't share that same opinion. I'm not gonna lie to you. I prefer the armpits shaved.
And why is that? Do you think?
I think it is Probably just thing that I'm used to
Personal
now.
preference.
Personal preference, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to,
But
I'm not gonna be for it.
I just don't know what is the argument that there's a necessity to shaving the armpits.
I don't think it's a necessity. I think it's a look, you know? Like, you don't have to brush your hair either.
Yeah.
But I like it when you brush your hair. I don't have to trim my beard. I could look like a grizzly man.
Uh-huh.
But most people would prefer if I trim my beard. I don't have to brush my teeth. I probably should.
Yeah. Well, that's a health thing.
But I don't have to. But people would prefer if my breath smelled good. You don't have to wear cologne. You could smell all natty.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But people would prefer if you smelled good. You don't have to wear deodorant.
I think there's separate things you're talking about. There's hygiene and there's just a look.
Yeah.
Deodorant is hygiene. Brushing your teeth is hygiene.
But I don't naturally smell bad. Like, I don't have to wear deodorant.
Oh, we've heard people say that and we don't believe that.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I came into work this morning, no deodorant, you'd have no idea. I'm not going to smell bad, but I could smell good if I put it on. But I agree with you more with the look thing. We could just leave it at beard then. I don't have to trim my beard.
Yeah.
I could look like a grizzly crazy man or brush my hair.
Well, I think
I could come in, my hair could look crazy. There's some people they don't care. There's some people they probably would be like, I would prefer if his hair was put together.
I think the idea is, if I can speak for women here,
Yeah, go for it.
is that many women feel looked down upon, judged if they don't shave their armpits in a different way than for many versus you shaving your beard. Probably nobody even cares. But for them, if they go out, some of them are probably thinking, oh, people are looking. And that's what they're overcoming now. The women are finally feeling empowered again to not have to shave their armpits and feel looked down upon. They're finally saying, you know what? Who cares? Who cares if there's some Isaiahs of the world that look down upon me for not doing
I don't look
it?
down upon you. Like I said, you're not going to be, yet again, you're not going to be my gal, but it doesn't bother me any. You don't have to shave them. I'm not saying if you don't shave them, you're this person or that person.
Yeah.
I'm just saying not personally my thing.
And at this time of year, too, like if you're at beach time, of course, pool time, I understand why you'd want to shave your legs. I wish I shaved my legs.
It's a lot of work.
I know for me, that's why I'm torn on all of this. Because ideally, I think I would like to be hairless too, but it's just too much work. And so if I could choose to be naturally hairless, I think I would.
See, and I shave my chest, my arms every week, so I would say for me,
You're putting in the work.
I'm putting in some work.
You're putting in the hard work.
So therefore, maybe I can comment. I don't know.
You're going to keep doing that when it's wintertime, though?
I've been
keeping
doing
your
this for like
shirt
3
on?
years.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.